Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. In the previous episode, we made loads and loads of diamonds, right? And we're going to be doing that again because we have a customer. Mr. Cubfan wants to buy an entire chest's worth of glowstone. Now, I planned on selling this in the concrete shop, and I was going to sell it for a diamond per stack. So I've been over here crafting absolutely everything out of the glowstone chest. As you'll see with the supplies in these other chests though, I've been at it over here at the witch farm. We have got tons and tons of materials, but we are crafting all of this glowstone up and we're going to make a big sale. So this is, what, 27 diamonds we're going to make here? So last episode we also got to open up a little bit more space over here. So I think this will be the spot we'll eventually build a shelving system like this and put the glowstone in. And yeah, Cub's going to come over here and buy some of these up. And there is the Pharaoh himself. I forgot to tell how much Cub I was charging. And there we go. Beautiful. Easy as that. 27 diamonds to our name. And yes, that is pretty ugly right there. But hey, someone else might swing by and want to buy some of this glowstone. So let's cast our mind back a couple of episodes ago. We built this portal over here to take us to the Nether. And what a glorious project it was. However, we left it with just the base part here finished, and if I look down below, you'll see I've been placing a lot more blocks and digging them out as well, which is why we got a beacon set up just over here. This is of course temporary, but it's allowed me to go down below and clear out all of this, ready to put the final touch on the portal project. And this is also a way to make diamonds, because remember, every time we dig in, we're getting cobblestone and stone to sell in our shop. So we built up a little bit of a supply of materials over here, which is fantastic. Now, what we're going to do next is use glass to do the classic fog effect, which Iscal85 is a big component of. If we go and have a look over here, if you've never seen this before, you basically put in a bunch of layers of glass, and it ends up looking like a fog as you look down. I do believe this looks better on connected textures, but I don't really like to use that. So we've got these grid lines all over the place, and I think it looks okay, but we're definitely going to reproduce it around the sides here. And do you know what? This is a big investment of resources right here. I am chewing through glass right now, so much so that I need to go and smelt some more. So we're going to take a trip to the desert and fill up on some sand. But I've also got to match our buddy Corrales on this. He said that he left me some gravel over here by the blast chamber. There it is. There it is. Oh, goodness me. This is a lot of gravel. Oh, my goodness me. I'm going to have to get more than this amount of shulker boxes filled up with sand. That, my friends, is absolutely bonkers. Well done, Corrales. That is a crazy amount of gravel. I think I'm going to have to make another shovel for this job, and it's made me realise these ones all have silk touch. So we got one with fortune on as well now. So there you go, 3.5 shovels, and we filled up all these shulker boxes full of sand, and I thought, you know, no time lapse, I'm just going to take like a screenshot with my camera count of the area, and then like do a before and after. Thing is, you know, the area I took a screenshot wasn't really big enough. I was too close to the island, and so you couldn't really see all of the area that I'd actually mined. Well, some of that sand has clearly been put to use. I've smelted it up, I've dyed it, and this thing is done. If it looks a little bit flat towards the bottom, it's because I've now added in a colour, more of this yellow terracotta down the very bottom there. Yeah, there you go, floor of yellow terracotta, the final touch. Very cool. And this tidy area down here, we might be putting to use. Now, when we built this ginormous thing, I showed you that there was a gap over to the side and talked about it being a secret entrance. I think that's not really what I want to do. However, zombie pigmen seem to love pathfinding down here. And I thought, well, if we could give them a reason to come down here, we could turn it into a bit of a miniature farm, because they're going to be rather annoying having them spawn. In fact, when I was digging out this area, we ended up with like 20 of them down the bottom here, so they naturally seem to like heading into this area. But with something like turtle eggs, we could maybe build a farm over here. So we could be spending our time roaming around the beaches looking for turtles that have laid eggs, or maybe giving them a helping hand. Oh my goodness me, we've stumbled across Cubfan's pyramid. Let's fly to the top of it. It feels so close yet so far away. Yeah, this is absolutely bonkers. Oh, Anyway, I'm in search of Hypno's base, and I've got a feeling I don't actually know where it is. Aha, maybe I do. Do you know what's been really fantastic this season of Hermitcraft? Having Hypnotized back. I think it's been probably since season like 3 that we last saw him playing with us together here on the vanilla server. We've always played some modded stuff together. But yes, this is Hypnotized base over here, and as you can see, he's got some turtles already hanging out in the area. And also a great view of like floaty farms just hanging out here and there off in the distance. And so what's great about this server is that people are always willing to help one another out. It can be a bit of a grind to get your hands on some turtle eggs, but Hypno said I could come over here and grab some. Maybe, just maybe, I should have opened the one with the turtle egg on it. So Hypno didn't ask for anything for these. I think I need 4 to build a farm, so we'll take 4 for backup as well, and I'll leave him a diamond block for his generosity. I don't know why I keep calling it a farm. It's just gonna, you know, provide a little rotted flesh and golden nuggets if we can find a way to kill these zombie pigmen and stop them loitering around the portal as well. But here's the thing, the place to build this trap is out of sight and underground, and so the pigman, you know, doesn't even target the turtle blocks from over there. I'm thinking they're probably not gonna target them from up above either, so it's only when they decide to wander down here that they'll probably be able to see the turtle egg. So just as I was thinking, this is turning into a bit of a pointless project. We got a whole group of them down here, and they've all just wandered straight in, gone for the eggs, and then fallen down here. So as soon as they spawn in, like that one right there, they straight away pathfind down to the turtle, so that's fantastic. I also added something to give any of them that wander out the front here an option to get down, which they don't seem to do. So I'm going to close this up right now, but let's say I start to see them wandering out the front here, then having a little opening like that, they're blatantly going to like pathfind over here and fall down into this trap. And I also put that off to the side because I thought if we leave it open like this, you're probably going to notice that bit of obsidian, whereas that is far less noticeable. So here I am thinking, I've got them really distracted, but it's been a total success. Yeah, that's a total success right there. So we'll have a little trickle of rotted flesh and golden nuggets coming in from this project, and the way that I've decided to kill them is with full damage, just because it's very simple and straightforward. So tidying up all that cobble and stone we got from digging, just thought I'd restock the shop. You know, the diamonds are rolling in again. I'm loving this. And oh my goodness me, look at this. Okay, sales. No sales. Sales. More sales. Someone's come and brought us out. Look, we've sold absolutely everything from the discount section. You know, running around and opening every single chest to check. It's not tedious at all when you're rolling in diamonds. Me and Kralis have made 36 each from this. Oh, things are going so well. This is all one big distraction. It was not the plan, but we're going to do this anyway. I've come over here and I've taken back all of my concrete powder. We're going to have to make this the old school way because I am just lost with energy to fix this project right now. But not only is there the powder, there is also some concrete that has been formed, so we're going to pick up all of this stuff as well so we can start restocking the shop. So somewhere in here I want to make a farm where you use your pick to mine the blocks. And you know, I thought I'd have a look like up here and see what kind of space was behind this wall, thinking I might claim a bit of land on the outside of the building. Turns out Kralis put in a false wall. So we're going to use this space right here. We're going to have a perfect little entrance. You come up to one of these little workhouses and then you can roll on in and use the concrete converter. And now we're actually kind of using all 3 because the more I've worked on this project, the more I've expanded the layout. So here at the very top floor, you're going to be able to fill up these large chests full of all the concrete powder, and then they're going to feed downwards into the concrete maker itself. So if we pop down the ladder, this is so cool. At this level right here, we've got the little room you go into to convert. Now notice how the floors are made out of hoppers. We've got a hopper here, there's a hopper back there. Anywhere where the block goes, the concrete one, it's going to get picked up by a hopper, and that's usually a big problem with these things. And the player should pick up this powder before that hopper does down there, so it should all work like normal. Now you can probably guess what's going to be on the bottom floor, right? It's where all of those hoppers lead to. So when they pick up the concrete, yeah, this is going to have to move. It's going to come down here now. So there's simply this right here that all of those hoppers point into, and then it feeds it into this storage. Well, with the time available to me, I've been stocking up our discount llamas at best that I can, but we are still somewhat short on supplies. Well, we're not short on supplies. We're short on time, because remember, we've got like 13 boxes of gravel and 13 boxes of sand. Anyway, heading on to the inside of here, our factory has received an upgrade in the form of workers. Look at what is going on right here, my friends. I had an amazing time in a live stream putting this together. We got a worker with a wheelbarrow, and then we can literally see the items that are being created coming out of the dropper and getting stocked up. Over here, we've got this guy at work activating the pistons that compact this stuff into concrete. At least that's the story we're trying to tell, right? And we've also got some drainage pipes for excessive dyes that have leaked out into these cauldrons. And then over at the front, probably my favourite bit, these two right here actually holding the blocks. And this is all, of course, thanks to our armor stand data pack that allows you to do all sorts of magic. Not only did we do that, I renovated the redstone. First of all, let's go and have a look at it in action. Then we'll look at the circuit after. The machine now runs a lot slower. In fact, it takes a moment to fire up, I've just realised. And here comes the first wave of movement. It does that twice. Then this one over here activates. And then this one back here. We've also thrown in some wall blocks so that you can kind of see, you know, the difference in texture as it moves along. And so there you go. A big delay between the first time it moves along and the second. And of course, this place is now a lot less noisy. So down below, we've used a classic comparator pulse extending circuit that uses the redstone decay to kind of create a pulse every so often. This little bit right here will work different in 1.16, and it means that this entire thing would be broken. But anyway, after there, what we have is simply a redstone line, so this can get powered twice while the signal flows through these repeaters. And then it makes its way further down onto the next circuit and then the next one. And that's it. Really nice renovations that we've done here. I might actually come back and throw in some more details, as I feel like the walls over here are plain, too plain. Oh yeah, and you know, a little bit more chaos is going on around this area now. Well, my friends, I have business to do off of the Hermitcraft server. We're going to go into a creative world in a moment. First of all, this building that we've seen, I think in the last episode, it's incredible, but you can now see what's actually inside of it. The diamond throne that apparently someone has to sit upon and decide what's going to happen here on the server next. What these diamonds are going to be used for. And if you didn't see the last episode, we of course interviewed Mumbo, who's running for mayor. So it looks like the mayor's going to end up sitting on the diamond throne. What an incredible place to sit. I myself am not interested in this sort of power. I believe it might corrupt me. No, I'm joking. I myself am probably not going to run for mayor. In fact, anyone else who might be running for mayor, I plan on interviewing them for the Herald, just like we did with Mumbo. Before we actually get off of the Hermitcraft server, I'm just reminded of something. We have updated our Wandering Trader pack and our Mobhead drop pack as well. These are available on Vanilla Tweaks, which does resource packs like the one I use and data packs as well. And all of the textures have been updated by Strider, who did a fantastic job. And in here, I actually have an example of how much better they are. So we've got the old Observer and the new one right here. And I picked up a few trades, like the birch planks look really good and the enchanting table. And these are like new ones. So now these old mob heads that we have here, like we recently got an iron golem head. All of these textures are like been updated. So now those old ones are rare. And which one's which? This is clearly the newer one, and it looks better because it's got the correct texture on the sides. So before we head into my creative world, let's head back over here to the portal, because we're not actually done with this yet. In fact, a lot of my projects are unfinished because of a certain thing, which is carpets. We need to spawn-proof a lot of the build. For example, over here, it's close to the light source of the portal, and of these blocks, so we don't really need to put them down. Well, actually, maybe right there I do. I need to find out where the mobs can spawn and make sure it's all covered with carpet. You'll see that the black wall here actually has a layer of carpet on top to prevent spawns. And I've been looking over there at that roof, seeing all the torches and just thinking, I really need to move ahead with this, okay? Now, one of the things that we could do is use, grey dye and dye all the carpets, but what we really need at this time is wool of all the different colours. So I've always referred to our wool farm over here as being a temporary build. It's pretty fantastic at pumping out the wool, but it only does 2 colours, and so we need to rebuild this inside of our base area with its own tower. And here's where things get very costly in terms of time. So here we are in a backup of an old Hermitcraft world download. This is my creative space for figuring out builds, and I wanted to bang something out and then build it on the server in survival. And so I went through some iterations of concepts for designs, and in doing so the time just flew by, and I realized if I want to get more towers built in this series, I need to do some of this stuff on camera really. So if you find this entertaining, you need to let me know, and in future we'll actually walk through the design process together as I'm doing it. Right now though, I've got the render distance on small so you can kind of see like the first design that I created here. So I started off with this idea of having a square base and then the shape of the tower expanding out to the side and then expanding again, but I didn't really like it. So I then tried a different concept, and this is why I've got the view distance down so I can kind of show you the steps one by one. I decided to extend it on that side, then this side. In fact, the best way to see this is from up top. So it actually gets extended out on all sides, but it just doesn't feel right when you look at it from different angles. So then I decided to settle with this. We'd have an expansion at the base on either side, and we could probably consolidate that back at the top in the future. I started to build this big box, figure out where the sheep farm would go inside of it. And then from there, the design got a little bit more fleshed out. I started to think about what kind of details and things we were going to put on the side of this building to tie it into our theme. And this thing needed a lot of details thrown into these blank walls, so I started to come up with this grid pattern. And then that's when I really lost track of time and just got deep into this. So if you found this interesting at all, let me know, because I think I'd like to do that when I'm actually in the process of designing and talk about all the little changes and ideas with a little more detail. And look at this. This is not the end result, but as far as I've gotten so far, and I feel like we're very close now. I tried to play around with this idea of asymmetry. Like this bit over here is on this side on the opposite side, but the more I look at it, I feel like we're basically going to double that up and put that into that space, which is fine. I'm very much settled on what's going on over here. I really like the playing around with the carpet colours, the way you see more of one colour than the other based on the angle you're looking at it. And we kind of duplicated that and made this side over here a little more unique. But again, this is going to be replicated to the side. And once that's done, we pretty much got a complete design up to the top level. And that's when I think I'm going to start pushing things in like we did down the bottom. Except this time, they're going to come in from right to left and then form a peak at the very top. When it comes to creative building, I think I might have a problem. You see, you can just get carried away, changing the design over and over again. And I think I'm going to have to settle with this right here. I did away with some of our asymmetry, or pretty much all of it, and I realized that it would probably make more sense to have 4 sheep farms in here, because there's 16 types of wool, and that's easier divisible by 4. So we're going to spread out the sheep to make it kind of low impact on the server. So now we've got this absolutely massive and beefy frame that's in need of a roof up the top there. And then I remembered it, something very important. We need to add a landing bay, just like we have over here. Placing all of these blocks in the exact position in survival might just be quicker than designing it all in creative. It really does take a long time. Now this side and the opposite one of the landing bay over there, I think we're going to make redundant. I just started with a design that was symmetrical on all sides. And I wanted to slope this thing up like at the bottom, sort of going in like this on a diagonal, but I don't think it's really going to fit. And then I was reminded that I kind of wanted to slope these the other way. So if we go in this direction, we end up with something that will go just a little bit higher than this. Are you ready? I believe this might just be complete. I'm a little bit undecided on if it should go to a very singular point at the top, but I absolutely love how the slope up here kind of represents the slope down there. And it's just another crazy, weird tower that we have built, and I love it. It's come together ever so well. Now, if we go on the inside here, You might be wondering what's up with these edges. Well, in survival, I'd probably redesign this and make them as ways to get down to the farm and then back up again. And no, we're not building a mob farm in here, okay? We're going to be building a sheep farm. And just in case you were wondering, that looks absolutely awful. I could probably make some modifications, but no, we're going to get rid of this. The next big question is location. Where in the jungle is this tower going to go? I just don't know. There are so many projects here all over the place and the vision is coming together. I am loving it and I hope you've been entertained by the creative building. I think what I'll do is take some of your feedback on board from the comments down below and we'll do another one of those at some point in the future where I actually, you know, start recording when I get into the creative building and I'll try and make it as interesting as possible for all of you. So over the next few episodes, we're going to be doing like we did the creeper towers and just, you know, get to work and start building it. As you can imagine though, that is it for me this episode. If you have enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and I'll see you very soon with another episode of Hermitcraft. Bye bye!